Hey there! Today we'll be talking about Indian pens. Indian pens made by, or maybe I should say made for, fountainpenrevolution.com. I mentioned the website because that's the only place where you can get these pens. Now the website is operated by Kevin. Kevin is a really nice guy. I've done business with him in the past. Always very communicative and nice, friendly guy. Has some useful videos on YouTube. India Pens, I believe. I'll check it and put it in a description below. If I don't do that, remind me. And he has launched his first pens. He used to sell. He is not from India, but he's working in India. He was selling Indian pens, and now he has launched his own line of pens. How cool is that? And not only is that cool, but he sent me a few so that I could show them to you and talk to you about them. Now, one thing I would like to point out there is that even though I got these pens, I'm giving them a fair treatment. So don't think that because I got them I'm going to be excessively positive or anything. I'll treat them the same way I treat any pen. Just getting that out of the way. Alright, so what are we talking about? We're talking about these little pens. Look how fun. I think they're... This is the type of pen that I see that makes me happy because they're sort of sparkly, bright colors. They look pretty cool, I think. You can get these with a bunch of nibs, a regular fine nib. You can get them with a nice little stub nib or an italic nib. I'm not exactly sure how they advertise it, but you know, a nib that will give you some line variation. And you can get a flex nib. And I got all three of those. I'm going to talk you through the pen. So I'll tell you about the parts of the pen, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. And I'll do a writing sample with all three, so you can get an idea of what nib options you have and you know what they do. Right now there are two colors. You've got blue and you've got red, and if I understand correctly, more colors are going to be added in the future. So if you want, I think, a green one, I think was going to be launched. So if that's what you want, then you have to wait a bit, but for now you can get these two. Alright, first of all, these are demonstrator pens, sort of. They're see-through. I'm not sure how well you can see that because the light is coming from that side, so I cannot really hold it up to the light and show you, but believe me, they are transparent. I'll try to make this focus. That's the cap, so it reflects, but you can see the nib inside. You see it right there. Okay, so what about the parts of the pen? Well, on top of the pen is a little black thing. At the bottom there's the blind cap, and that's black too, so you get that sort of balance, and you have either blue or you have red. I think with the red you can see the black a little easier than with the blue one. Maybe I should use the red one to talk you through. That's what you get. Then you get a nice clip. I think that clip is actually quite cool. Let me show you the shape. Focusing. There we go. Interesting shape. Nice, a little playful. How do they work? Work pretty well. They spring back. It feels like I could bend this if I would want to do that, but as you can see, you've got quite a range of motion before it actually bends, so that's good. Okay, the downside of doing that is that you will actually spill ink in the cap, as you may see there, but that's okay, I can deal with that. Piston filled pens. These pens are not particularly expensive. I should probably check that right now, shouldn't I? I'm actually just talking as I record this. I forgot, as I got them for free. I forgot the actual price. Okay, so there we go. I was just stretching and adding some time here. It's a $15 US dollar pen. You can add a flex or a stub nib for $3 more, so it's $18 then. So to get a piston filled pen at that price, I don't think it's too bad. You've got the nudeless pens, the Nib Creeper $14, the Ahab $20, I think, Conrad $20. So $18, $15, that's not a bad price. Plastic, metal, center band, good, prevents cracking, very useful, good thought. Now you've got the piston mechanism. I can't show you how it works because there's ink in all of them, and if I would operate it, then there would be ink all over me. But you would just twist the blind cap, piston moves down, put it in the ink as you do that, twist it the other way around, piston moves up again, draws up ink, and it's done. I suppose a lot of you are familiar with that system, but for those of you who are not, now I know how it works. Okay, this is the flex nib. I'll show you that nib. It's not... Yes, it is the flex nib. Don't expect a whole lot of detail. It's just a sort of non-shiny, non-reflective, dark gray nib. I have reviewed that nib before on the Sowex MB, for example. Nice nib, is smooth. I can only say this, especially this one I got today, I was surprised by the smoothness of that nib. And then you have the, this is the stub, so it's a fine stub, again no real detailing, but this one's a bit shinier. And then we have that, this is a regular fine nib, which has something on there. It actually says FPR, doesn't it? Yes, Fountain Pen Revolution. And that doesn't look like it's laser etched, it looks like it's actually stamped in there. Cool, well done. Okay, so anything more I should say? No, I don't think so. The section is a sort of a vintage shape, so it tapers and then it flares again. Comfortable to hold. Are these huge pens? No, but for me big enough. Nice section, your fingers won't really slip. Do I feel the cap threads? A little bit, but I don't find them annoying. No, they're not too sharp. Of course, you can post the pen. We're talking about a plastic cap, so you probably want to be a little careful, but it's quite cool. Fits on there, posts, and there you go. Okay, so that's very nice. What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, I like that I got these for free, obviously. But as to the pens, I like the looks. There are quite some people who say that Indian pens are bad and have poor quality control. Well, I guess that might be an issue. The same could be said for Chinese pens. In the end, you know, it depends a little bit on whom you're purchasing from, I suppose. I say again, I have nothing but positive experiences with Kevin, and I'm sure that if you get a pen that doesn't work or you don't like it, he'll sort you out. It's going to be fine. He takes care of his customers. That's my impression. So that's cool. You get, before I forget, these pens, I thought that was quite nice. You get them in a little roll, so the pen is sort of in there. There's a little bit of tape or something on there. You can cut that off, and then you get some instructions on how to fill the pens. So that's nice. That's cool. I probably should have said that the pen is called Dilli, the Indian word for Delhi, a city. Okay. And now I'm finally going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. As to the quality control issue, I got 3 pens, they all work well. So for me that's a 100% success rate. I like the screw-on cap. You won't pull that off accidentally, and on pens at this price level you often get, you know, pens that you just slip off. You can post them. I'm not going to do that with this pen because it has some ink in the cap. I was twirling that around a bit too much. You can post them quite securely, which is nice. I like that. Question is, can you? No. Very good. You do not operate the blind cap when the pen is posted, because that can happen. Obviously, when that happens, you may try to screw off the cap, and then you will operate the piston. Ink will flow out from the bottom, and that's an issue. I'm just trying this out here. I am unable to operate the blind cap when the pen is posted, so that's a good thing. Alright, I like the looks, as I said, nice vibrant colors. Anything I don't like? They write well, they work well. One thing that I noticed was that around, this is nitpicking, near the end here, on the blind cap, you see those little ribs? They can be a little sharp. But the thing is, I don't really feel that. I mean, when I operate they will give you a grip, I suppose. So that's good when you're trying to fill the pen. When I fill the pen, I hold it here. I don't feel the sharpness. I mean, it's not sharp as in they will give you an arterial bleeding because you'll cut. I mean, it's not that sharp. It's just, you know, you feel it a bit. When you post it, of course, you don't feel it at all because the cap is covering that bit. That's all I can think of. I mean, I got the pens in, inked them up. They wrote straight away. They're nice. That's all I can say. So if you're looking for a pen that is affordable, piston filled, has a decent range of nib options, flex, stub, etc., check them out. FountainPenRevolution.com. Not affiliated, just That's where you'll get them, and nowhere else. That's all there's to it. So I'm going to do a writing sample with all 3 pens. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so let's do some writing with 3 Dilli pens. I'm opening up one, the first one at random. I don't know what this is. Ah yes, this is the fine nib. I'm pretty sure it's the fine nib. So what we have here is a Dilli. The nib is fine, and this is Ackerman Trève Turquoise. Don't bother with the ink that much, because if you're not in the Netherlands, it's going to be hard for you to obtain anywhere. I'm sorry. Dilli. So what you would get is the quick brown fox. Went to Delhi. Then I want you to see the other blue one, which should be that italic, yes. So here we have Dilli. This is an italic nib. The ink is Noodler's Bay State Blue. Yes, that's right. I put that in a demonstrator. I like living on the edge. This nib gives you a little bit more feedback than the fine nib, but that is not uncommon for a stub nib, I suppose. It will do this, so it'll give you a nice bit of line variation that regular fine nib does not, because it's round. So that's a nice difference. I appreciate this. I think it's nice. And when you push down a bit, you get some really fairly impressive variation, I would say. So that's quite cool. And then finally we have, I put that ink on this section. Well, it doesn't really matter. I can take it. I can take it! Ink on my fingers. Now here we got the Dilli. This is the flex nib. The ink is my ultimate flexing ink, Noodler's Anti-Feather or X-Feather. Nice, pretty thick ink which helps in flexing. The quick brown fox went to Delhi. This gives quite some line variation. I'm really pushing it to the max here. And this is absolutely no pressure, so that's what you can expect. I think that's a decent bit of line variation, actually. What about wetness? As you can see, nice, even patch of ink. Looks good to me on the flex nib. They all share a feed, so this really shouldn't make such a difference. Here we got that italic. Also a pretty nice patch of ink. A bit more white in there. A little less wet, I suppose, but you know, this is Bay State Blue. This is a very wet ink, also prone to feathering. In a fine nib, and you can see that even in a fine, I'll do this a bit quicker, I'm not cheating, you get a nice even flow, nice supply of ink. So there you have it, 3 nice pens. I think it's a little pointless to go into line variation. I mean, if you buy a fine nib, you'll get some. That's actually not bad at all. But I mean, clearly, if you're looking for flex, then you shouldn't buy that. You should be buying the flex nib. Because that will really open up under pressure and give you that nice line variation that a lot of people like. And then, is this the one? Yeah. If you get that italic nib, again under pressure it will open up a bit more than under no pressure. And that's all there's to it. So here you have it. No less than 3 Dillis. I again thank Kevin for sending me these review pens. I hope you found this review useful. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And that's all there's to it. So I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.